Very good morning from myself, Devon Govender, and welcome to the Gallop TV selection show for the race meeting scheduled on the 29th of October. We're racing on the Vaal Classic track, and it's an absolute pleasure to be working alongside Alistair Cohen. He's going to help us today and take you through the card, and hopefully we can find some winners for you. Good day, Alistair. How are you doing?
Yeah, Devon, I'm good, thank you. Another warm day here in Dubai, but it's a good weekend ahead, obviously, with big racing down at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. I think we also need to touch on what happened last weekend with the Betway Summer Cup. Credits to Johan Janse van Vuren and Keegan de Mello, and obviously to Puerto Manzano for pulling that off to burst through in between horses to snatch victory away from safe passage. That was a long plan in motion with Puerto Manzano, obviously, to get him to stay 2,000 meters. And well done to the team. Also, shout out to Jared and Lawrence Werners and the owners, Tessa Werner's involved there, Harry Wilson, and to Justin Famark, who went to Argentina to source Puerto Manzano. Lovely story behind him. Came back with 3 horses. He was the ugly duckling, and he's now a Group 1 winner, and the other 2 just won their races. And then obviously the Ding-Dongs, which is always a great race, great horses win it. Mark Peacock 1, 2, 3. I don't think anyone's too surprised with the 1, 2, 3 part, but Union Square getting the better of Shoemaker. And then Stuart Pettigrew for winning both sprint feature races. It was a lovely day's racing. And now the roadshow moves down to Cape Town.
Yes, it was absolutely magnificent to see Puerto Manzano winning. Well done to all the winning connections. What a great day it was. And I'm sure you would have been tuned in watching every moment of the racing. Just touching on the weekend as well. What about Candice Bass's horse, Charles Dickens, yesterday? How impressive was that victory?
Devon, I've seen comparisons to some of the great South African horses being made since I've been in racing. I mean, I took an interest in racing in the mid-90s, going up right over the road from Hollywoodbets Greyville. And I've seen, I loathe people who make comparisons saying this is the next so-and-so, this is the next horse chestnut, this is the next sea cottage. But the first thing that crossed my mind yesterday was this is the best horse South Africa's seen since horse chestnut. I cannot believe those words have come up my mouth.
Yes,
but that is the instinct that I got yesterday. That was absolutely out of this world. It's insane, and it's an unbelievable 3-year-old crop of colts. And the fact that he's going to start deep in the red in the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas is absolutely insane. What a horse he looks like.
Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal, and big things to come. But let's get into the business end of things. Starting off with race number 1, it jumps at 12:35. It's the 4 Racing Welcomes You maiden plate over 1,200 meters for fillies and mares. Alistair, I quite like number 8, Fly Isabella, Fly from the Johan Janse van Vuren yard. The stable will be on a high, and I'm expecting them to have a very good day come Tuesday.
Yeah, we sing from the same hymn sheet. You know, when I first looked at this race and I thought, well, Fly Isabella, Fly, I'm going to look for vulnerability or look for a horse to beat her, but I simply can't find one. I'm a little bit wary generally about horses coming out of work riders races, but I thought Fly Isabella, Fly was very unlucky. She's effectively a winner without a penalty. If she was, on a different day, she probably wins that race. She's got draw number 1 over 1,200 meters, as you say, in form yard and a top jockey on board. And just my analysis of this race was look for something to beat her.
Yes.
I couldn't find anything to beat number 8, Fly Isabella, Fly. So I think pretty simple bar-pot banker in leg 1.
And you think for trifectas and quartets, maybe even exactas, number 3, Memorial Day. I fancy this horse on a few occasions. Has been a little bit disappointing though.
I think the 2nd and 3rd will be fought up between 3 Memorial Day and 4 Summer of Dreams. Summer of Dreams coming off a slight layoff. Both of them have equally poor draws. Summer of Dreams might just carry slightly stronger form runs. I think it's pretty much a boat race between the 2 of them to fill up minor money. But I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. If you want to make money for the place accumulator, pick 6 and jackpots for the rest of the day. I think Fly Isabella, Fly is the right way to start.
Well, there you heard it from myself and Alistair. We both like number 8, Fly Isabella, Fly from the Johan Janse van Vuren yard. Moving on to race number 2 on the card, it's the www.tab4racing.com FM 77 handicap over 1,000 meters for fillies and mares. Alistair, I'm going with the same stable, Johan Janse van Vuren, Mythical Dream, and this could be anything.
Now, this won't be easy for number one, Mythical Dream. I've gone 3 horses in my bar pot. Mythical Dream, number 1, 2, Showtime, and also number 7, Beaded Gown. I must confess I'm looking to beat number 1, Mythical Dream, but I don't know if that's wild or stupidity.
Yes.
I suppose we'll find out afterwards. The fact that she's taking a big leap in class, and for the first time she's got 60 kilos to carry, is
Yes.
my concern. If there's any rain, that's also the wrong side of the track to be on the Vaal Classic. So all those go against her. To be fair, I thought she got away with one last time. I thought Rose for Trippy was unlucky in behind. And then, of course, Rose for Trippy followed up again and ran close up just over a week ago. So I suppose the form is working out well enough. I think Showtime carries slightly better form lines, having run to a Pico last time. A Pico was placed in the Gardenia. Also, Showtime ran in Feature Race Company. I liked her last time behind a Pico. She was doing her best work at the end. I think she's going to win a few races, number 2, Showtime. So I'm going to keep safe of her. And funny enough, and I'm also going to make another comment here that might not be a popular opinion, but it's my opinion, and I actually think it's right. Feature race level Durban form, well, Durban horses at feature race level, I don't think there's much depth there. But I think when you get down to the handicaps and the maidens and races like that, we've seen Durban form pop up time and time again. So I'm going to give number 7, Beaded Gown, a vote of confidence using that logic.
Well, there you heard it from Alistair. He's not taking any chances in the exotics. He's including all of numbers 1, 2, and 7. That's number 1, Mythical Dream. Number 2, that is Showtime. And number 7, Beaded Gown from the Mike de Kock yard. Moving on to race number 3 on the card. It jumps at 13:35. It's the Tab 4 Racing app FM84 handicap for fillies and mares over 1,600 meters. Alistair, I quite like number 3, Moraine. I know it's a little bit short in the betting market, but like we touched on earlier, the stable's on a high, and this combination, they've been lethal. Keegan DeMillo's riding at the top of his game, and I do make this the one to beat.
I'm going to lead with number 3, Moraine here, Devon. I speak to Johan Janssen van Vuren quite a lot, and when Moraine entered his yard, he just said this filly screams classics to him, and the further she goes, the better she'll be.
Yes.
Princess Ozma got very, very close to her last time out, and the weight suggests that she could get even closer.
Yes.
I think the Vaal Classic track will probably suit number 3, Moraine, a little bit more than number 4, Princess Ozma, but I'm not writing off number 4, Princess Ozma by any stretch. I think only the 2 horses can win it. I've gone with both horses in the place accumulator and the bipod as well. I think 2 horses will suffice in the pick sixes. I think we need to open up in the second half of the day. And again, Moraine's going to be tested hard enough here, but she's probably found the right type of race. I mean, Magical Flight ran with the best of her generation. A one horse that keeps jumping off the page as a top 4 contender here is number 6, Last Year. This is straight out of the St. John Gray playbook. If it's not too short for her, I think she can run into the first 4, but I just think the more scopy 3-year-olds with low mileage on the clock will probably hold the advantage here. So 3 and 4 for me. First choice, number 3, Moraine, but huge respect for number 4, Princess Ozma.
There you heard it from Alistair. He likes number 3, Moraine, and respect number 4, Princess Ozma from the Sean Terry yard. And for trifectas and quartets, throw in number 6, Last Year. That could be some value and make the trifectas and quartets pay. That's currently trading around about 12-1 in the fixed odds betting market. Moving on to race number 4 on the card. It jumps at 14:05. Play Soccer 6, 10 and 13 maiden plate over 1,800 meters. I thought this was a little bit of a tricky race. I'm leaning towards number 12, Sparkling Jubilee. I'm hoping you can help us here, Alistair.
I'm not going to be too much help here, unfortunately, Devon. I've got number 12, Sparkling Jubilee, in my bar pot on my place accumulator, but my first choice here is number 4, Billy Spellbound, with blinkers on and stepping up in distance. I don't know if you remember the mother, who was also trained by Sean Terry Woodcroft.
Yes.
She stayed all day.
Yes.
She stayed all day. She won a feature over 1.5 miles. Won the Gerald Rosenberg, placed in the Gerald Rosenberg over 2,000 along the way as well. And I like the way that she's been running without quite finishing it off. So if the blinkers bring out any tune to the son of William Longsword, I expect him to be the one to beat. Sylvan Theatre ran a lovely second last week. So the form seems to be holding up okay. Not eye-catching, not the best form in Joburg, but still good enough to suggest that 4, Billy Spellbound is at least on the right track. And then number 12, Sparkling Jubilee, with a very, very light weight, out of a good draw, going a distance that should suit her as well. I'm a little bit worried about the form of Cashier Mazdool that was on the Turfentine inside track over a mile well, but Sparkling Jubilee seems to stay on well enough. She'll be bang there as well. I'm happy to go with the 2 horses in the place accumulator in the buy pot, but I think maybe a few more are needed in the pick 6, the likes of number 2 Main Mission, despite coming off a layoff. The yard, I mean, Roy Magnus, the top trainer, Raymond Danielson's riding well for Roy as well. And then number 5, Skyjet. I'm willing to give Skyjet another chance dropping in distance for pick 6 purposes. But 4 and 12, I think, are probably the two money makers in the race.
And number 11, a London Palladium from the Lucky Hudalakis yard for pick 6.
Don't know about how the form's going to work. That's my worry. That was in a work riders race over 1450.
Yes.
I know Lucky's style quite well. And funny enough, Bongani Mlangeni and Lucky have landed some big coups in work riders races in the past. The fact that this filly drifted off the boards suggests that she probably doesn't show too much. Yes, she's open to a lot of improvement, especially going over this distance for the first time. But I'd like to see a little bit more before we go with her.
Well, you've heard it from ourselves. Include numbers 12, 4, 2 and 5 into your exotics. It's not an easy race. Moving on to race number 5 on the card that jumps at 1440. It's the Furious Room, now opened, MR71 handicap, over 2,000 meters. Another race that's probably open if you look beyond number 2, Ignatius. Alistair?
Well, just a quick mention of Mike and Adam Azzi and also the Soul family, because I left them out at the start with the idea of talking about them here with Gimme a Shot winning the Yippie Tombi.
Yes.
JP Funamava was on board, so it's the same combination. Well done to the Souls. They live just down the road from me in Johannesburg. And
Yes.
well done to the Azzies. Gimme a Shot now getting a Group 2 and a well-deserved Group 2 under the belt. Was not going unnoticed. And I like a bit of number 1, Master of Queen here, because I think he's on an upward curve. He only got £3 for beating my horse Banner Bridge last time. And I
Yes.
thought he beat Banner Bridge well enough when positively ridden and going to the front. He's over the same course and distance. And I think he might have got away with one as far as the handicapper is concerned there. To be fair, and also credit to the Asmen, when he won his maiden, I thought that could very well be the end of the road. But he's clearly loving life, stepping up in distance. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him in 6 months' time sort of be a division or 2 higher than where he is now. With
Yes.
that said, the same comment applies to number 2, Ignatius. I've always believed that when he gets onto a galloping track, he'll be a much better horse. He went onto that galloping track last time, and he was beaten by the stable companions, number 1, Master of Coin. And I thought beaten fair and square, dare I say. I think number 2, Ignatius, has also got a lot of scope to improve. I think the further he goes, the better he'll be. So he's in my play. And then the horse that I'm hoping can make swingers, trifectas, quartets, and potentially the place accumulator in Barpot, just take a little bit of a hike is number 8, Flag Bearer. I think Flag Bearer will run a nice race. He's really consistent. Sianda Sasibo's been riding as winners of late. I think the drop to 2,000 meters could be the catalyst to see a little bit more come from the Son of Flying the Flag. So I'm not going to let him run loose. I do think the top weights are the 2 to focus on, but number 8, Flag Bearer, I think is the springer in the pack.
Alistair, pick 6 wise, I've only got 2 numbers written down. I've chosen to go a little bit light. I've included numbers 1 and 2. You're suggesting we throw in number 8 as well, just as a backup?
Yeah, I'm definitely suggesting number 8, Flag Bearer, because I've got an inkling that he's going to run well. If Vengeance Forever hadn't come off a rest, I would have put him in 2, but I'm willing just to watch Vengeance Forever here. Maybe if you're uncertain, you get to the jackpot and things aren't going according to plan, maybe cover yourself with Vengeance Forever. But yeah, 1, 2 and 8 for me in the pick 6.
Well, there you heard it from Alistair. Include number 8, Flag Bearer, into your pick 6. That could be some really good value in the anti-post fixed odds market. That's trading around about 16 to 1. That is number 8, Flag Bearer. Moving on to race number 6, jumps at 15:15. The Racehorse Owners Association MR90 handicap for 3-year-olds over 1,600 meters. Quite like number 2 here, Atticus Finch, Alistair.
Yeah, also like number 2, Atticus Finch. JP Funamava rides for Alec Laird. I think there's something about him. When he won his maiden, that form's worked out to be one of the stronger form lines in Johannesburg, one of the stronger maiden form lines in Johannesburg anyway. He's back to a mile. That could well be the key here. I think there's a lot of potential there. Whether he's quite group material, remains to be seen. Maybe a race like the Sea Cottage or the Secretariat could be races that Alec Laird's lining up for number 2, Atticus Finch. But I like the form runs, and the post-maiden run was actually a good one. He's done nothing wrong, so he's got to be the one to beat. But the lightweight here, 49 kilos out of Stallgate number 1. I know he won a week maiden, but number 7, Future Pearl, as Dees would say, to quote him, keeps me very, very interested indeed.
Number 7, Future Pearl, the apprentice takes the 4 kgs off, so a very handy galloping weight there. But myself and Alistair, we're both in the camp of number 2, Atticus Finch, in race number 6. Moving on to race number 7, that will jump at 15.55. It's the Tab Telebet 0861000822 MR70 handicap. It's over 1,500 meters. And the horse that I think they all have to beat here is number 5, Kalahari Blue, Alistair.
I respect number 5, Kalahari Blue, but he's not my first choice. I'm going with number 2, Ibisi, having run third to Kintallan Bay on Philly's Mile Day, the last Friday night. I actually thought Ibisi ran into a little bit of trouble at one stage. He finished off his race really nicely. He's a real tough old soldier, 30 starts, only 2 wins, but heaps of places. I'd recommend an each-way play on number 2, Ibisi, in race number 7. In a race where a lot can win,
yes.
5, Kalahari Blue, I believe, is probably just a step above the handicapper. He'll run a good race. 4, Sia Pambile backs up quickly a week after running second to Tulip Tree, and it was a nice run. And I actually think Striker will suit number 4, Sia Pambile, because it looks like you need to be as quiet as possible on her. And does the race stop there? It might do. Maybe number 8, Montmorency, can sneak into trifecta from the quartet after staying on fairly well last time behind Duke of Sussex. But number 2, BC, always good value for money. Nice each-way play in race number 7, and I hope we get a little bit of value there.
Yeah, I remember his recent runs. Kabisi, he's such a game horse, you know. He's as tough as nails.
Yeah, I think those are the attributes that always make him a bit of a proposition in races of this nature. The fact that Cornet Spies is also in good form, his yard's been on this horse and his yard have been on the boil for a very, very long time. And just look at his profile. I think the only time he ran a bit of a shocker was when he was tried over further than a mile.
Yes.
If you take that run out of the picture, then number 2, Ibisi, is just as honest as they come. Be a lovely horse to own, even though he doesn't win all that often, even though he's not going to be running in the Hollywoodbets Durbanville in July. You know that you're always going to get a good run for your money, and a stake check is likely to be deposited in it tomorrow morning.
Well, you've heard it from Alistair. You may have found us a little bit of value there. Number 2, Mkabisi in race 7, so include that in all your bets. That's currently trading around about 5 to 1 in the fixed odds betting market. Moving on to race number 8, which is the lucky last. It jumps at 16:30. The next Vaal race meeting Thursday, 1st December, FM 69 handicap for fillies and mares. It's over the 1450 trip. The favorite is number 1, Queen of Smoke, Alistair.
Yeah, number 1, Queen of Smoke, has to be respected. I think stepping up in distance will suit her. I think she won a bit easier than the margin suggested last time. That was in a particularly weak race, and now she's got a little bit of extra weight, but the handicapper only gave her £4 for that win. So she's obviously probably the one to beat. She has to be respected. The horse that I own in partnership number 2 with Lawrence and Jared Werner's number 2, Strange Magic. Ignore the last run completely. She was short to Gallop, and as the gates opened, she took a knock. She took absolutely no interest from there. So back to basics, dropping her in distance, hopefully get a good break, hopefully be positive on her. And I think number 2, Strange Magic, is definitely worth another chance or two. Her maiden win was actually out the top draw. Keegan DeMello was very, very impressed with her. And whenever you see Keegan and Candace team up, you need to take notice of that. And then number 4, Speechmaker, I think, is lurking around. Speechmaker's not far away from a win. If she was drawn better, I'd be a little bit more confident and press her into my place accumulator and pick 6. But if the pace is on, I'm just looking around here. It doesn't look like there's too much evidence of pace, so that might not suit number 4, Speechmaker. But if someone does go ripping off to the front, then that could open the race up for her to run on quite strongly. So, again, I think I've gone a little bit top heavy with these top weights on the card, I must be honest.
Yes.
But I do think that all these top weights that I've been suggesting are all horses that are open for lots of scope.
So, Alistair, I've just looked at the fixed odds betting market. Number 2, Strange Magic, that's currently trading around about 7 to 1. And there's a good price for a place there, around about 12 to 1. We can include this in all our multiples.
If you're playing Place All to Comes and you're looking for a horse in the last race, I don't think it's a race that will take a hell of a lot of winning. If you're working things out and you come to the last and you're looking for a little bit of a price, I'd recommend number 2, Strange Magic, a place inclusion. And a pretty confident place inclusion at that.
There you heard it from Alistair. He's given us a little bit of confidence on number 2, Strange Magic. Include this into your multiples in all your place bets. This is currently trading around about 12 to 10 rather in the fixed odds betting market for a place. And we've taken you through the entire 8-race program. We're moving on to the last segment of the show when we're going to take you through the suggested bets. And I'm told Alistair's got a buy pot for us, and that's going to come up on screen now. Alistair, take it away.
Okay, so I was actually going to do a bar pot and a suggested all to come, and then I saw your all to come, so I'll let you take the credit for that. My bar pot is opening up in the first leg, banker number 8, Fly Isabella Fly. Second leg, I'm not mad about. I'm hoping that Beat It Down can run into the first 2, but 1 and 2 are definitely the 2 to beat there, so 1, 2, and 7 in the second leg. Then the third leg, numbers 3 and 4. That's race number 3 on the card. 4 and 12 in the fourth leg. I like the look of Billy Spellbound there with blinkers on and trying this trip for the first time. 1, 2, and 8, again, much like the second leg, hoping that Flag Bearer can run into the first or second, more likely second, just to boost the bar pot, and also hoping to double up there. And then 2 and 7 in the final leg. 72 rand, my suggested bar pot to spend, Devon.
Thanks for that, Alistair. Moving on to my suggested bet. I've got a treble for the guys on all to come. You can either play it on the tote or the fixed odds betting market. Short and sweet. Race 8, number 1, Fly Isabella Fly. I definitely think that this is the horse to beat from the Johan Janse van Vuren yard. This stable is going to be on an absolute high after this weekend of winning the Summer Cup. Moving on to race number 2, I've gone for number 1, Mythical Dream. That's currently trading around about even money at the moment. Gavin Larena is aboard. Then moving on to race number 3, Johan Janse van Vuren and Keegan DeMello. That combination's been absolutely lethal. And this is quite short in the fixed odds market, around about 6 to 10, 7 to 10. I've worked out this multiple online and it's around about 7 to 1. So that's the suggested bets for me. You saw Alistair's buy pot. We'll have that on screen for you. You can view that on YouTube. Go online and have a look at that on the Gallop TV YouTube page. Alistair, thanks very much for your input. It's been an absolute pleasure working alongside you today, and hopefully we managed to find the guys some winners come Tuesday.
Yep, Devon, great chatting, always is. And hopefully Tuesday's a successful card for us as all the big action now migrates down to Cape Town. But thanks for your time. Thanks to everyone there at Gallop TV, and we'll chat again soon.
Thanks very much, Alistair. Wishing you all the best for the week ahead.
Thanks, Devon. Same to you.
That's a wrap for us for the Gallop TV selection show. We hope that you have a fabulous day's racing come Tuesday.